While sheltering underground with the Bowery King in New York City, John Wick plots vengeance on the High Table. He flies to Morocco and assassinates the Elder, also known as the one who sits above the table. In response, High Table member Marquis Vincent de Gramont summons New York Continental Hotel manager Winston and his concierge Charon. Marquis says that the High Table has given him unrestricted funds to assassinate John Wick. Winston is chastised by him for failing to assassinate John. As a punishment, the Marquis deprives Winston of his administrative responsibilities, declares him excommunicado, ruins the Continental, and executes Charon. The Marquis then hires Kane, a blind, retired High Table assassin, to murder his old buddy, John, threatening to murder Kane's daughter if he does not. John seeks refuge in the Osaka Continental, which is managed by his buddy Shimazu Koji. Chidi, the Marquis' second-in-command, arrives to examine the hotel, accompanied by High Table assassins and Kane. The hotel's concierge, Koji's daughter Akira, evacuates just as the High Table deconsecrates it, sparking a melee as Koji and his men come to John's defense. John fights his way through waves of armored assassins, culminating in a clash with Kane. After judging that the bounty for killing John is insufficient, Mr. Nobody, a bounty hunter, interrupts their battle and assists John's escape. A wounded Koji assaults Kane on John's behalf, and Kane regretfully kills Koji while sparing Akira. When John returns to New York, he encounters a vengeful Winston at Charon's tomb. Winston tells John to challenge the Marquis to a duel using an old High Table tradition. Winning would relieve John of his responsibilities to the High Table, but he can only request a duel on behalf of a criminal organization. He flies to Berlin to solicit readmission from the Ruska Roma crime gang, with whom he had cut ties. Katia, John's adoptive sister, demands that he assassinate Killa Harkin, a High Table member who murdered her father, in order to be readmitted. Killa is confronted by John at his nightclub. When a fight breaks out, Kane and Mr. Nobody assist John against Killa's thugs. John eventually kills Killa and regains his status. Winston relays to the Marquis John's official challenge. Winston, acting as John's second, demands that the New York Continental be rebuilt, with him returned as manager if John wins. In a conference chaired by the Harbinger, the table's messenger, John, and the Marquis agreed on the parameters of the dueling pistols on the following daybreak at Sacré-Cœur in Paris. The Marquis appoints a hesitant Kane to take his place. If either John or Winston fails to show on time, they will be executed. The Bowery King arrives in Paris with a weapon and a new ballistic suit for John. The Marquis aims to delay John's arrival at the battle by setting a $26 million bounty on him. On his trip to Sacré-Cœur, John fights off hordes of assassins, including Mr. Nobody, who negotiates a bounty increase of $40 million. During their fight, John stops Chidi from murdering Mr. Nobody's dog, prompting a stunned Mr. Nobody to halt his pursuit of John. After Kane and Mr. Nobody help John beat off many assassins in the Rue Fouetier, including Chidi, whom Mr. Nobody kills, they get at the summit just in time for the duel. 2 rounds of dueling ensue between John and Kane. The third round is called off when Kane gravely injures John. The Marquis excitedly swaps places with Kane to administer the coup de grace. Winston chastises the Marquis for his hubris, revealing that John has not yet fired his third round, at which point John shoots and kills the Marquis. The Harbinger releases Kane and John from the High Table, and Winston is reinstated. Before succumbing to his injuries after collapsing on the stairwell, John muses on his life and marriage. Back in New York, Winston and the Bowery King said their final goodbyes to John at his grave, which was close to that of his late wife Helen. Kane goes to Paris to reconcile with his daughter in a post-credits sequence, but is confronted by the vengeful Akira, who brandishes a knife. Please make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications to see more videos like this. Thanks for watching.